every year, every holiday, you have to set up the ladder, climb through a hole, grab whatever I'm trying to grab, and maneuver it around. It's not the act of pulling something up and down into the attic, but it's the chore of getting the ladder out of the garage and making things work. I finally broke down this year and had enough after Christmas. And that led me to installing a pull-down ladder for the attic garage. Now, these are actually pretty cost effective and really simple to install. While I did my best to record everything, juggling multiple camera views from my new chest cam to my cell phone, remembering to press record, while also trying to maintain a decent pace. I have inevitably skipped steps while recording, but I'll do my best to fill you in. So now that the disclaimer's out of the way, let's get to it. Installation. It's everybody's favorite thing. Fiberglass. It itches, it gets into places that you don't like. If you breathe it in, you're coughing up phlegm or lack thereof because there's this piece of fiberglass stuck in your throat for days on end. Nobody likes it. Therefore, I highly, highly recommend you get some PPE. So I'm clearly wearing glasses. Before I started moving a ton of insulation, I got my dust mask, and then I got some gloves. Honestly, if you can find gloves that come up mid forearm, even to your elbow, that's even better, or having long sleeves, because I can tell you that even though these gloves are nice, I was still pretty itchy for a couple of days after this. So the biggest thing is removing anything that you're going to catch yourself on. Basically all the little staples that I had that was hiding down or holding down the plywood is getting removed. Then all the insulation has to come away from where the hole is going to be. Removing the 2x4 that was the original opening, extending that out to where the new opening is going to be, and removing the drywall frame that was on the interior all happens at this point. So I highly recommend a Sawzall with a metallic blade on it. A jigsaw could work if you have long blades. A multi-tool, an oscillating multi-tool could work here as well. But basically cutting off the nails that hold in that plywood, or sorry, the 2x4 that hold in the 2x4. And then when I go to screw that back in, I'm using countersinking bits and then some screws. And the drywall comes out using a drywall knife. If you don't have one of these, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think the Sawzall would be okay, but you might damage the drywall finish. That would probably, again, be okay because you're going to hide it with some trim. But drywall knives are not that expensive, and as an electrician, I use them pretty frequently. All right, so at this point, I was recording on this new to me chest cam, and I clearly didn't know how to use it. I wasn't recording at all, so I missed a lot of footage. And so I'm going to walk through what I did clearly afterwards. The first thing is that I initially put up two supports, right? So I have a 1x3 in the garage. I cut it to, I think it was like 24 inches. And then I screwed it using these cabinet screws. And they're very thin, so it makes a small hole, but it's got a large head on there. So I had one here, I think it was like 6 inches from the end. Maybe 6 inches on this side because it has the hinge. And then I think it was like 8 to 10 inches on this side. That allowed a big enough gap for me to lift this door in on a slight angle and put the door itself up in the overhead. Now, Once you set the door back in on top of those two supports, you're stuck in the attic. So everything you need to do the rest of the install needs to be in the attic while you're up there. And you also can't do this by yourself unless you can get out and climb down somehow. All right, let me show you what's up here. All right, so one of the first things that you need to do is once you're up here and you have the frame in place, you have somebody down below, you need to shift the frame all the way up against this header and put on these straps. So you get it roughly center. You can shim the sides if you want. You put in shims down, whoever's underneath puts shims up, and it locks in place. You do that on both sides. Center the door, the hatch, staircase, whatever you want to call this pull down ladder in the middle of the frame, but all the way towards the top of this. Use these straps to secure it first. And you don't want to be pulling it off of the support. You want to make sure that it's still resting on the support while you have tension on here. Before you actually lag something in, is you measure square. And that's from the interior of this corner to the interior of the corner back here. Same thing from this corner to the corner back here. If it's not square, what's going to happen is you'll probably struggle to get it to open the first time, but then it'll never close. So you need it to be square. I would say within 1/4 of an inch is fine. And at that point, then you lag everything in place. Once that's done, you can put a lag here. You lag these. And that's where the shims go, is right in front of the hole that you lag. So you lag through the shims into the 2x4 on either side. And then the same thing back here is shimming the back corners and then running a lag there. You got 2 more lags here when it's all said and done. And then whomever is down below can pull the cabinet screws holding the 1x3s or whatever you have supporting this down, and then they can open the door and you're free to move about your home again. And check square multiple times as you go. So center lag, these 2 lags, recheck square. Did it move? No? Okay, then you can put these 2 in and then the remaining 2 in, and you're set. Now, I took duct tape along the bottom of the door once this was in place and used window and door spray foam. Now, that's important, window and door, because that doesn't put pressure down or to the sides. It will only expand where it can. So this was actually really bubbled, and I have video of me removing this, which you'll watch shortly. But that was very important, and that keeps the air gap all the way around. Overall, getting the door in here is not difficult. Take your time, follow the instructions, and I would say it was probably like a 2-hour process from cutting the drywall and moving this, because I had the access. If there was no access and you're making your own hole, there might be a little bit of planning to get the size the way it is, but this is not an all-day affair by any means. It could be a half day if you're not used to doing these types of projects and you're worrisome. You want to check YouTube videos and check the instructions, but I promise you the instructions that came with the kit are sufficient. All right, let me show you what you need to trim on the stairs. All right, so this is the bottom of the ladder. This is the ladder, and then this is an extension that you put on. On the bottom of this ladder, depending on the height
from the floor to the ceiling in the hallway or whatever room that you're putting this in, a closet, whatever. Using the instructions, it'll tell you where you need to cut. There's these little perforated sections. They're marks, they're not perforations, that tell you where to cut. So there's marks on the ladder itself, and there's marks on the extension that you're putting in place. Find your height, refer to the instructions, and then cut it. I used a jigsaw. A bandsaw would work even better. A chop saw, if you have one, would be probably the easiest option by far. But overall, this part isn't very difficult. If you don't have any of that and you need a very low cost option, a hacksaw, metal hacksaw. And then that's it. Once you figure it out, you bolt it in place. And then once you finish your ladder, you can enjoy the new access to your attic. Now, I will give you a word of caution. Creating a bigger hole into your attic will mean that you can put more stuff in the attic. And that's a blessing and a curse. Hey, I want to thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment and share if this was valuable. And if you're interested in seeing how I actually finished out the attic, how I framed it, and did the installation itself, please be on the lookout for the video in the upper right-hand corner.